Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jim McDaniel with URL Insurance Group. Thanks for joining us today for My URL 101. It's a webinar on cases, contracts, and commissions and how you can access that on our website. So certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us. We know everybody's busy, but hopefully you'll take away some things from this webinar today that'll help you manage and also grow your business with some of the tools that we offer on our website. So I'll go through a little introduction here, kind of how to get logged into the website, where you go from there. Before I get into the My URL section of the site, I'm going to go over a little bit of what we have on our site that you may or may not use, but we think it's some good content that can help you with training and with running quotes and different tools like that you can utilize. I'll get into kind of the meat of the webinar, which is the My URL section of the site. We'll go over how you can drill down on cases that you've submitted or gotten paid on here, what your contracts with us are, the writing numbers, etc., and how you can look at commission statements on businesses, commission business that we pay and process. And then I'll kind of hint at some of them as we go through some of the upcoming features that we're going to add to this section of the site, along with some ideas on what you can do with some of the data that you'll be able to pull out of here after we kind of get into it. So we'll get started here. So the first thing, I'll get out of this slideshow. The first thing that we're going to go, everybody should be able to see our home page here. And from our home page, there's a login screen, and you can put in your email address. I have a test agent set up here today that we're going to use for this demonstration. So I had my password remembered. If by chance you don't remember what your password is, it's always going to be linked to your email address. So you can click on this Forgot Your Password button down here at the bottom. That'll take you to an area. You put in your email address. It'll instantly send you a link to reset your password to whatever you'd like. So if you're not sure what it is, just go ahead and reset it, and that'll get you in. So we click Login after we've entered that, and you'll see, hi, your name will be here. This is Mike, test agent that we're using today. We'll get to the My URL stuff in a moment, but first I want to go over just a few things that are on the site that may be beneficial to you. One thing I'll note, we'll do a Q&A at the end of this event. So as we go, if there's questions that you have, there's a question box on the side of the control panel there. Just go ahead and type it in or just note it to yourself as we go, and I will I'll read all those aloud at the end and answer everything that I can for you. If not, I'll follow up everything here with an email. But some of the areas of the site that you may be interested in, to start, is our departments. All our departments are listed under this tab. I'll just go to one for an example, the Annuity Solutions. Once you get to the department homepage, you'll see the tools that department offers, the key people that make up the department, who your key contacts are, their extensions, ways to get in contact with them. You know, kind of a summary of what the department's about and what they offer and the different product lines that they work with you on. So departments is a good place to know who to talk to about what. Along that same line, under our Contact Us menu bar at the top, the second link down is a PDF contact sheet. If you click that, it'll download a PDF. It's an easy-to-print listing of everybody in our company, really great to have by your desk. I know I have it by mine, to know who to reach out to in whatever department. You'll note beside the names of these, you'll see extension 4, extension 6. So if you were to call into our office, weren't sure who you needed to talk to, but knew it was somebody in the life department, you could just hit extension 3. It'll round robin until you get hold of somebody here in the life department that'll be able to assist you. So that's what those mean in that little area. So that's a good little tool to have. The other section of the site that has really the meat of what we offer, once you get logged in to the home page, a lot of that gets unlocked, so you'd want to log in first. But you go under Agent Resources, and that's where a lot of the things are that are custom to you or custom to the content that we offer. One of the things that you might want to check out would be the events and training, and that would be something like this would be posted on there today. All the events we have, whether it's an online webinar or an in-house seminar, are posted here, and then any of the webinars that we host are also archived here in one big long playlist. I'll also touch a little bit later on our YouTube channel and where you can view a recording of this session as well as any other of the webinars that we host. Another section that's pretty popular that would be useful for you is our licensing and contracting page. And our licensing and contracting department headed up by Tish Weitzel. From here you can get our flash packet if you haven't filled that out yet. That's our easy contracting process where you can get E&O coverage through us. If you need to do any AML training, and then some of the carriers we work with require appointment fees. Those can all be paid from this page as well. Another section under Agent Resources is News, and this is where we kind of aggregate all the different news articles that we create or put out. Joe in the annuity department does his Department of Labor rule update webinar I think it's every 2 weeks on Monday, so you can get the latest information on that. Deb has our health care reform newsletter that goes out weekly. So those are all archived here, along with her Thursday conference calls that she does every Thursday morning on the PPAC law and the health law and what's going on with it. Medicare Connections newsletters are archived here, along with some general insurance news from all around, all different types of insurance stuff. So good news resource there. Anything that we send out via email gets archived here. Another section, the product information section, you may be familiar with. You'd click on product information, and then it'll kind of get you to go into a channel of one of the departments, so you can see annuity solution product information or employee benefits or whatever the case may be. And that's where you can get all the different apps and brochures and any kind of carrier-supported material that we would host on our site to have for you there to check out. The other area that our site, and this is something that we developed based on some feedback we had received over the years, and this has been out there for a while, and it gets a lot of use. It's a pretty neat tool. It's the product search, and basically what it does is if you wanted to find out what carriers we offer that have a individual disability product. So we go down, scroll down through this, individual disability, and I click show. That's going to come up with all the carriers we have that offer individual disability. And we have 120, 130 carriers that we work with. So to find a carrier that offers the product that you're looking for wasn't always the easiest route to go. You may have to look through many of them to find what you need. So you can narrow this down by the product type, all the different product types that we have, as well as maybe the department. So, you know, if I do life markets and then show, it's just going to show me the life products, and then I see, okay, who offers whole life, and then I get to these carriers here so I can see exactly what carriers offer what products. So it's a really good tool to kind of get to, and then these are all clickable once you get your results. So we go to MassMutual. That takes you to the MassMutual product page. You can look at their portfolio, get contracted, interest rate guides, all those different kinds of things. So the product search is a really good tool if you're looking for something and you might not know who has it. The other tool that's on here is the quoting tools. Very popular page on our site. This enables you to go in and run a quote for the different types of products we have. Some of these aren't necessarily quote engines. They're more of a form where it would request the information that we need here internally to run a quote for you. So these are kind of would help us get the information we need to generate a proposal to get back to you for your client. So that's a really good start. The Life Term Quote engine is super popular every month. All these are really good. Sam's got a really good thing on the employee benefits to get the questions that need to be answered so they can generate a quote for you for that kind of product. So we talked about quoting tools. The next thing is our YouTube archive. So in the top right corner of our screen here, you'll see the little YouTube icon. If we click that, that opens up to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/user/URLInsGroup. And this is where we post all the webinars that we have. Coming in the future, we hope to be able to start recording our in-house seminars live. So we have video of that up here. So that's something that's coming down the pike here in the future. But anything that we've done webinar-wise in the last many years are all posted here. You can scroll through, watch the one you want at your leisure. All right, and that's quoting tools. And lastly, just an extra thing on the site, we have a blog here. We post a blog about every 2 weeks. I've written some things on CRM systems and HIPAA compliance and some marketing ideas and different stuff like that. But all the department heads here all are writing blogs every couple weeks, and there's a lot of great content and information. Our recent one is with Sam Bohr, Success in Selling Employee Benefits, Having the Right Tool at the Right Time. So you can continue and read more on that. Karen has one here on the scope of appointment for Medicare producers. New Year's resolutions from Steve on the life side, and they're all listed here. You can also at the top see how they're tagged, and if you just want to read about a certain area, compliance or something like that, then you can get to that and see just kind of compliance-related blogs. Okay, so now on to why everybody came here today, which is the My URL section of the site. So once you log in, you'll see here that this changes to a little link. Click here to visit My URL. You can click here to get to it. There's a My URL button here. There's a My URL button here. There's a million places to get to it. Whatever's easiest for you. We try to make it so you work how you want. So once I go into I log in and click My URL Agent Center, it brings me up to this page. And this is kind of a custom page in a sense too. It shows you any upcoming training. So the session that we're in here today is listed, and then hockey games and whatever else we have coming up is all listed here on the side. Another area, the announcements and updates. So this keeps a running log of the most recent things that we post to the site. So for instance, last week, Capital Blue Cross individual dental product info was updated. There was a new PPACA conference call video added. So this is a running total that you can look at and see what's changed since you visited the site last and not have to just know what's been updated. So it's a good tool for that. But the main thing on this page is that we're going to focus on here for this webinar is these three buttons. The first one is My URL Cases. So I'm going to click this. It's going to pop open a new window, and it's going to start by showing me cases I have with URL that are in the status of transferred to paid. So those are cases that went paid already. A common question that I get quite often is somebody logs into here and, hey, I just submitted this case. I know it's pending. I can't see it. Where's it at? All you have to do is change the status here to pending, hit submit, and you'll see that it shows under status here on the right what the status of that case is. So you can drill down by many of these different things here by date. People that have worked with us over many years have hundreds and hundreds of cases here. So you may need to get pretty specific on what you're looking for. And you can drill down by many different categories, the kind of case that was written with us, the status that it would currently be in. You could see all if you wanted, and it would show all the cases. If it was between a certain date, that might be helpful to narrow it down for you if you're looking for something specific. And then carrier as well. You can go through all the many different carriers that business would show up in here for, and it would sort it by that as well. So you can use all these, some of these, it doesn't really matter. Whatever's easiest for you to help you find what you're looking for. One other tool that is maybe the most powerful part of this, other than being able to sort through these things, is the ability to take this information and export it to Excel. So when I'm in here and I'm looking at these are kind of the opportunities. That's what we call them here at URL. If I click on this opportunity, it shows me the person's name. That's just a test name there, but if the business is processed by us and it comes through our office and we're getting this kind of client information such as home phone, birthday, email, etc., we'll have that information in here as well. Some business it works for, some business it doesn't, but you can click and get it here, just see it on your screen and print it if you want. But a better way to do it would, once you get this report, come in and export to Excel. So if I click Export to Excel, it's going to take the data that I'm seeing here in this view, and it's downloaded a file that I'm going to go ahead and open. And from within that, you can see all that. So now this is in a format that I can use to put into my CRM system. Maybe I keep my business in a spreadsheet. I can append this information into that spreadsheet. Maybe I use Access Database or whatever it may be. This is in a form now that you can do something with it, even if it's just sorting it by zip code to see what clients I have in what zip code or whatever it may be, or see just business over the years. This is a pretty powerful tool, and I'll hint at another idea at the end of the webinar what you could do with some of this if you don't have a CRM currently. So that's kind of the the gist of the production report, you can narrow it down by whatever criteria is up here, hit submit, and it'll show that information below. And then the ability to also export that out. The second area that I'm going to talk about briefly, and it's pretty simple, is and you can just get to it by clicking up here at the top, is the My URL contract. So once I click on that, it's going to come up with a list of carriers, what my writing agent is or was with that carrier, and then when that contract was initially started. That's what the start date implies. And then the reason I say about the agent number that it maybe what it is or what it was is, for example, Highmark Central Individual. If you started a contract with them in 2007 and you only wrote business in 2007 and 2008 and you haven't written since, most likely that contract has probably been terminated. The writing agent number might be a good start for you to get reinstated to write that business again, but it's really only a reference. If you're writing day in and day out with that carrier, then the information will most likely be accurate. That agent number should be correct. Often, when agents get terminated, we are not notified of that, so we have no way of really providing whether that, on the fly anyways, if that number is an active number or not. Our licensing and contracting department can obviously confirm that for you, but this is a good start to see what a writing number is when you had that contract initially, and just to see what carriers you have with URL. Similar to the production report, you have the ability to export this to Excel just like that. You click Export to Excel. It looks very much like what we see here in the web browser. Open up Excel, and we have the carriers, writing agent number, and the start date. So you could export something like that out of your system, put it into a CRM system as well. Okay, and lastly is URL commissions. And so before I go to the commissions tab, I just want to preface that by taking you to our commissions page, our department commission page on our site. And that's, I flip back over here to our website. So if I go down to commissions under departments, the commissions that you're going to see in this My URL system are carriers that we process and pay commissions on. And a list of those carriers are listed right here. So this will be currently the only business that you'll see under the My URL commissions section of the site, are carriers that we process and pay. Coming down the pike in the future, we're looking to add in additional carriers that we don't currently process and pay on. So that's an upcoming feature that we'll have at some point. So from this commission page, you can get to that same area, and I'll click on that from here. But if you need a direct deposit form, that's here. If you have an issue with some of the commissions that we process on, your carrier didn't pay correctly or something like that, a great tool to use is this Submit a Commission Payment Issue. You follow this button here, it will guide you into the kind of case that you're having a problem with. That gets sent over to Brandy and her team, and they'll investigate that with the carrier and get back to you with hopefully when they're going to be depositing that money into your account. So great tool to use. This page is definitely beneficial if you have some commission problems or you want some information on who we pay and that kind of stuff, and when we pay. That's kind of what this payment schedule and all that is. But so if you're logged in, you click See Commission Statements, either from here or where we are on that other screen. It's going to pop open a window, and that's going to take us to here. If and you'll see, what the agent's name is. This is Mike Test Agent. We're logged in here as the URL agent number that we assign to agents that work with us. And if by chance you had a debit balance or something, that would show here and what it was or whatever else. But for the purpose of this, we just have one carrier loaded in. Mike Test Agent is only getting paid from URL on Capital Blue Cross Senior Business. So the information you can see here is the statement. So I'll click on a statement here and open that up. It'll pop open a PDF. I'll zoom in on this so you can see it a little better. Now, when you log into this, it's a little different than principals of agencies will see this differently than sub-agents. If you're a principal of an agency and you have sub-agents that assign their commissions to your agency or you, then you as a principal will see your business as well as your sub-agent's business, including the premium and the commission earned. if you're a sub-agent and you log into here and you assign your commissions to an agency, you'll see all this information except for commission earned. That won't be included in this. Your agency principal will be able to see that. You will not. So that's kind of one caveat as to how that works. So yeah, basically just a list of the statements. That's for the current month. If you wanted to see previous month statements, you can click on this little link here. That'll take you to previous months, years. You can go back. As long as we've been paying you for Capital Blue Cross, those statements will be out here archived for you to view at any time. And similar to the other areas where we could export to Excel, you could do the same thing, export it out of here, get into your CRM system, and do whatever you need to do with it. Send it to your accountant or however you work. So that pretty much covers the commission side of things. I talked about the agency principals, seeing downline information. One area on this, under the production area, and this is kind of a new feature that's coming that our developer is actually on this call today listening in, and him and I have had this request once in a while, and it's kind of come out more and more, is the ability to, when you're a principal of an agency, when you sign into here, you really only see your business. And one feature that we're going to be adding is the ability to see your sub-agent's business as well. So coming in the next couple months, hopefully shorter than that, we'll have this kind of new feature rolled out. So when you're a principal and you log into this system, you'll be able to see your business as well as business that your sub-agents have submitted. So that'll be helpful for people that run an agency. And that's kind of how it works on the commission side of things, you know, so where you log in and you can see your sub-agent's production. You know, one idea that I have on the production side of things, I don't know how many people on this call have a CRM system, and a CRM is a customer relationship management system. And basically, it's a system. We use a system called Salesforce, which is kind of one of the top ones out there, and it enables us to load all our clients' information in there, which are agents, your clients' information, cases, contracts, all that information is stored in there. It's our case management system. It's a marketing system. It does a lot of different things for us. And so I guess at this time I'll launch my poll. If you could, let me see, I launch. Yep. So you should see a poll up on your screen. Let me see if it's showing that or not. Yep. So yeah, so you see the poll. If you have a CRM system or not, it'd be interesting just to see. It looks like right now it's about 50-50, 60-40. People continue to answer. About 60% of the people have voted. So it looks like maybe still got about 50-50. So about half of you either have a CRM system or half of you don't. So if you do have a CRM system, you know, this information can hopefully be valuable to you to be able to export that out, get it into your system. And if you don't have a CRM system and it's something that you're interested in getting started with, you know, we have all this data digitized already. So it would be a big, you know, easy to get started in it. We can do a massive export for you and provide that data to whatever vendor you decide to work with, and they can kind of get you running with a bunch of data that we already have. So even though you may not have one, we're maintaining a lot of this data, and you know, it'd be something that that we could help you kind of get going with, and I can certainly make some suggestions on some partners to use for that kind of stuff. All right, so that's the CRM system. You know, currently this is really a read-only system. It's pulling data from our Salesforce over. You can kind of look at it and export it, but you can't enter anything into it. You couldn't use this as a lead tracking system or anything like that. But it is something that we're looking to be able to possibly offer. Probably early Q2 of next year would probably be as soon as we would roll something like that out. But it has been on our planning as something that, you know, maybe you wouldn't need to adopt a whole new CRM. Maybe it's something we could provide, but we continue to look into that and hopefully have that offering for you in the future. Let me see. That's kind of all I have for this presentation. I'll read through the questions and answers here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to send them over. All right, so I have a question. Is transfer to paid case that I have been paid or need to be paid? So transfer to paid means that you should have been paid on that case already. The case has been transferred to a state of paying. If it was a life insurance case and it was in the status of issued, the carrier has issued that case, the client has yet to pay for it yet. Once the client pays, and we recognize that that payment's been made, the carrier notifies us or we pull a report or whatever it might be, then that's considered a case that's already paid. Just reading through these questions here. I have old health cases on MyURL cases transferred to paid that are being paid, if still active, to my old agency. Is there a way to hide those from my list? I'm not sure, Mary. I'd have to kind of get logged into your account and see what you're seeing and see what you want to hide. I'm assuming if you did it by date and you went past that date of that old business, then you could filter it out that way. But that'd be my guess for right now. But I'm happy to do a separate screen share with you here and take a look and see what your specific situation is. Some questions on Salesforce and pricing and those kinds of things. You know, we don't have any negotiated pricing. We do have some partners that we work with that could help you kind of take off with Salesforce and get running with it. You know, that's the kind of thing. It's a behemoth. It's a big, complex system, and we have a couple partners we've identified that can kind of work with you to help manage, get through it, and get the tools that you need to manage your business how you'd like to. So if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to stop here for now. Certainly appreciate your time. Thank you for your business and your partnership. And if anybody has any questions after this, please feel free to reach out to me, Jim McDaniel at URL. My extension here is 144. Happy to speak with you. Thanks for your time, and have a great day.